Hi, it's Tech from Techo.com. I want to talk to you this week about loving your customer to death. How to make sure that you take care of your customers so that they keep coming back. A very important ritual for all of us in business. Now, let me start off by saying that it's really important you know who is your ideal customer. Who is your actual target market? Can you describe that market to make sure that you're hitting the right people ready to buy your product or your service? The second thing I want to say is it's really important to know your existing customers. You need facts about them. You need to know how many times in a year that they buy from you. You need to know what sort of products or what sort of services that they buy within your range. You need to know about how much they spend with you and how much they spend with you in total over the year and over individual products. It's a fair amount of work that you have to do, but I'm telling you, you can't get away from this kind of research. You need to get to know exactly what your customer does, buys, behaves within the context of your product or your service. Now, it's obvious that in order for you to keep your customer loyal, you have to really treat them well. You have to serve them well. You have to provide them with quality, whether it's a physical product or an online product, whether it's a service that you provide online or a service that you provide face-to-face. You really have to treat them well. But it's not just treating them by providing them with quality. It's all the other aspects of developing a relationship with them. Now, one of the tricks I have for you in order to love your customer to death is to use the 80-20 rule. I'm sure you've heard of that. 20% of whatever we do usually brings 80% of the returns. So to put that in the context of your customer list, there's 20% of your customers that actually provides you with 80% of your sales or your profits or your returns. Now, this is not an exact science. It might be 79%, it might be 23%. But basically, the 80-20 rule will statistically apply to your customer list. What you have to do is make sure the 20% who are providing the 80% of your income is looked after. Now, you're providing the same sort of quality products to everyone, I hope. You're providing the same sort of quality services to everyone, I hope. But what you can do to distinguish this 20% that's providing you with the bulk of your income is to give them the relationship outside of the products and services that you sell to them. These are making connections with them. Now, the first thing you need to do, of course, is to get your customer list and work out who fits within that 20%. The top half of who fits in that 20%, I would suggest to you that you love them to death individually. What do I mean by that? Those are the people that you go and visit individually. Create a customer relationship plan, if you like. Work out who you will visit on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis or fortnightly, whatever it is. Work it out so that you're actually going out to see them, or you're inviting them out to lunch, or you're just dropping by with coffee and cakes and having a bit of a chat. It's very important that you create this off-sales relationship with them, because the last thing you want to do as a friend is to get rid of that friend as somebody you buy from. It makes it a very difficult task. So the relationship building causes them to be friends and causes them to be loyal and therefore difficult to break away from you. Now, the second half of that 20% is what I would say the people that you love to death in groups. Now, what I mean by that is you don't have to go and visit them individually, but what you can do is you might invite 4 or 5 of them out to lunch together as a networking lunch. You might provide a seminar to 20 or 30 of them to provide them with ideas about what's best in their industry for now, new developments and so on. So what you do is you again provide that relationship outside of your products and services that shows them that the relationship they have with you is valuable, not just in terms of the quality you provide in products and services, but because of the relationship they have with you and what they can take from it, what they can achieve from that relationship. Now, for those of you who are in business online, you might say, well, how do I visit someone? How do I actually, in fact, work out who's in my 80-20 rule? Because people click on the link and they arrive. Well, if you can't identify individual customers, I'm sure you can categorize them. Those that come from a certain link, those that are most engaged, whatever categories you come up with, you should be able to work out which 20% of that type creates the 80% of your income. And agreed, you can't go out and visit them individually, but what you can do is send special emails to them. You can, for example, gather their dates of birth as part of your list building exercise. Well, what you can then do is make sure you send a specific birthday card, a birthday message to them by email. You can also send them specials that are not available to anyone else individually. And who knows, it could be special books, it could be a gift basket, whatever it is. It could be a voucher, but they get to feel blessed and appreciated by you. For the second half, where you love them in groups, that's a little bit easier. You can send out a special email newsletter to a category that would be interested in a particular development in the industry or something like that. So there's many different ways to love your customer to death. And just remember, the reason is you can't get rid of a friend in a business relationship. It's very hard to. So if you make them your friends, they realize how valuable your relationship is. They realize the quality of your products and services. Hopefully it's quality. And they realize that you are the complete package, and they will be loyal. So try it out. And if you want other tips and ideas and systems and step-by-step processes, get over to my website. Have a look at the blog, which goes through a whole series of different ideas. However, if you want that special attention, get to the blog and sign up. Give me your name and your email address, and I'll make sure that these valuable tips, ideas, systems, processes get delivered directly to your inbox.